Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to talk about the top strategies for small business Google Ads. I've worked with quite a few clients who have very small Google ad budgets. I would define very small as anything under about $1,000 a month, but these tips would definitely apply to people even in that $1,000 to $3,000 a month range. And I'm going to go over 5 top strategies or key strategies to maximize the ROI you get from Google Ads, even with a restricted budget. If you hear you need to spend 3, 5, 10K a month in Google Ads to get any results, that's totally not true. You are going to have to be mindful of a lot of stuff, especially if you're going to have a small budget in that 500, 1,000 range, whatever that may be. But if you implement these tips, you can still get a good result and get a low cost per call or cost per conversion with implementing all these. So anyways, let's get into it. The first thing I'd recommend you do is focusing on one campaign type. I would definitely advocate you prioritize search campaigns over remarketing campaigns or anything else like that, or display ads, YouTube ads, whatever. Stick with search campaigns, and that's because they're very straightforward and they have very good data-driven optimization. You're able to bid effectively and set low cost per action and basically make your budget work. At the same time, I would discourage you to distribute your budget too thinly across a lot of different campaign types. So for example, here and throughout this video, I'll just kind of click into different ad accounts. You're going to have ad groups for different services. This is a contractor I used to work with, or we used to run ads for, and you can see they're paused now, but we had a lot of different ad types: home renovations, kitchen renovations, bathroom renovations. So anyways, different service types, different areas. If you have a really small budget, you're just going to want to pick 1 or 2 things and advertise for those, because you're not going to have enough money to advertise for every possible service in every possible area you can market. You're going to need to niche down, pick the most important one, your highest margin one, and run ads for that. The next thing, which kind of plays off that, is make sure you target a single offer. You should definitely concentrate your budget on a single product or service, depending on the type of business you have, and get clear data and insights. At the same time, you're going to want to optimize all of your ad copy and keywords around the chosen offer. So let's say you're a contractor, we'll use that last example, and you can do a bunch of stuff: bathroom renovations, whole home renovations, basement suite additions, whatever, and you can apply this to your own business. Just pick one thing. So in that case, you probably pick kitchen renovations. That's a good size ticket job. It's not too small. And you're going to run your ads for that. You're going to pick the kitchen renovation keywords. And also you're going to write ad copy for that, for whatever offer you're doing, whether that's book a consultation, whatever that may be. And the benefit to doing this is you're actually going to get a good data sample size. So even though you have a small budget, you're still going to be able to see what keywords are working, what keywords aren't, and expand on that, because the goal is to be able to experiment and figure out which words and which ads you can run that's going to get you calls for the lowest amount. This is kind of the biggest pitfall with a small budget, is you don't have the chance to experiment. So instead of basically never getting to experiment and running bad ads, just niche down, pick one service and run a normal amount of ads for that, and then optimize from there. The next thing that's important, and again, plays off that, is utilizing keyword research. It's really important, especially with a limited budget, to identify low cost, high intent keywords to target to your right audience. I definitely recommend you use Google Keyword Planner to discover affordable options. If you don't know how to do that, I'll show you really quickly. You'll be in your ads. You're going to go into Tools, Planning, and Keyword Planner. And then from here, you can enter a whole bunch of words and figure out your idea. So we'll stick with it. We'll pick a new example. Say you have a plumbing business. You can type in plumber near me and get the results. So you're going to get all the bid data, and you can find words that aren't too expensive. So over here, you're going to have the top of page bid. So find words that aren't the most expensive. Some of these words are $35, $45, but some of them are only in the 20s. You're probably going to want to start with those words and give yourself a chance to actually bid on these words and run some experiments. Also, prioritize keywords with lower competition but higher search volume. So words that you see are typed in, and again here you can see the search volume. Words that are typed in a lot but aren't as competitive, Google will index your competitiveness, and bids are a function of competitiveness, will show you. So for example, plumbing companies near me. This is the highest search volume word on the sheet, but it's not the highest bid. It's kind of in the middle of the pack. So that would actually be an example of a word that you'd have a little bit higher of a chance on. The bid's not super cheap, but there's loads of volume, and it's going to be somewhat less competitive than a word like plumbing services near me, which is searched up way less times, 20% less, but the bid is way higher. So that's something you'd want to watch out for when you're picking your words. Now, once you've kind of set up your campaign, you've picked your keywords, you've done your ad copies, you figure out what you're running ads for, you need to start optimizing it. And you're going to need to be really aggressive because you don't have that much money. So you're going to need to closely monitor your campaign performance to identify what's working and, even more importantly, what's not. You need to turn off underperforming keywords and ad groups to optimize your spending, and you need to continuously test and refine your campaigns. So I'm making a whole nother video on things you can do to optimize your current Google ad campaign. But in short, you're going to pop over here, go into your campaigns, and go into your ad groups, and you can figure out which ones have high cost per clicks and which ones have high cost per conversions. And if you see some of these, you've spent the average cost per clicks really high, or the, oh, sorry, I just messed my window up here. Or the average conversion rate's really low, you're going to want to move away from those ones. But so for example, this home renovation one, the conversion rate was pretty high. That's something you would want to allocate more budget to. Now, the last thing you can do is leverage pre-qualification techniques. So what you'll want to do is use your ad copies strategically to filter out unqualified leads, saving budget. So let's say you have a business and you provide a more luxury service. You wouldn't want any ad copies that talk about cheapest XYZ or lowest cost this or that, because people are going to click and then you're going to pay for them to visit your site. Then they're going to see, oh, hey, I'm way too expensive. So you want to make sure you disqualify people in your ad copy. The same goes for if you've noticed you are getting some inquiries, but they're the wrong type. Maybe the people live in the wrong service area. Maybe they're commonly looking for something else. Mention that in the ad copy so people don't even click your ad in the first place. I'd also recommend you use location targeting and demographic targeting to refine your target audience. Figure out the areas that you like to work the most, that people most need your services, and only run ads in those areas so people outside of those areas aren't going to click. Another thing that happens really commonly is within kind of a metropolitan area, there'll be areas that are maybe notoriously bad to work. People are going to get a lot of quotes and ultimately going to be really hard to work with and are less likely to convert. Maybe, you know what I mean. And if you're a business owner, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just don't run ads in those areas. Set up exclusions and don't do that. Also, or don't run ads there. Also, you should definitely implement really clear call to actions that guide users towards taking your desired actions. The last thing you want to do is pay for someone to come to your site, but because you don't have a clear CTA, they're not going to call. That's the worst thing that can happen, and you're not even going to get anything out of your ads. Anyways, I'm going to conclude by offering a few extra tips to bolster your Google ad efforts. 1, there's loads of free resources from Google. Take advantage of their free resources like tutorials, tools, and make sure you learn how to optimize your campaigns efficiently. Also, stay updated with all the industry trends. The landscape of Google Ads is constantly evolving. Staying informed about the latest updates and best practices is super important. Then lastly, seek expert advice. If needed, consider consulting with a Google Ads specialist like myself or like anyone else to gain personalized guidance for your campaigns. Depending on your budget, it might be worth it to just pay the management fee to someone to make sure you're running your ads well, than just wasting money on your own. Anyways, even with a limited budget, you can always achieve success with Google Ads by following all of these outlined strategies. Remember, the key to unlocking Google Ads potential lies in consistency, data-driven decision-making, and ongoing optimization. So anyways, hope all those tips help, and hopefully you start making more money with your ads so you can afford to just spend more and have an efficient campaign. If you found this interesting, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.